Hello, friends. We are in Italy, in the Civita Castellana area, which is an hour's drive from Rome. And this is literally the mecca of ceramic art, because practically all the manufacturers of sanitary ceramics in Italy are concentrated here. And today we will visit one of the most advanced, one of the most innovative, and, of course, designer enterprises. This is Ceramica Galassia. Ceramica Galassia was founded in 1980, and over this time it has undergone an amazing journey of development, transforming into a manufacturing company that combines innovation, modern technologies, and of course, manual labor, the artisanal touch of local craftsmen, for which this area has been renowned since the 19th century. Today, Ceramica Galassia is one of the few factories that have a complete production cycle, which ensures unparalleled quality and, of course, allows for the realization of the boldest design ideas. It all begins with the acquisition of raw materials. Ceramics have historically been made from four main components. These are, of course, clay, kaolin, feldspar, and quartz. In certain proportions, different types of clay, depending on the products, are mixed in a special mixer. Then, after thorough mixing, the mass is filtered. All unnecessary elements, primarily iron ones, are removed, and this mass, meeting the highest standards. Galassia is sent through special pipelines to the casting workshop, next into special molds which, by the way, are also manufactured. Here at this facility, a so-called low-pressure casting takes place. What does this mean? This means a more even filling of the mold with ceramic mass, which eliminates the presence of any pores or cavities, resulting in a product that is as homogeneous as possible. After the mass is poured and has settled, the mold is automatically opened. This is also a very important process because, as a rule, at most facilities, the molds are opened manually. This can lead to damage to the product even before they move on to the next stages of processing. After opening, the product is carefully removed from the mold, and small parts are taken out, which are used to form technological holes. By the way, for one product, the mold consists of an average of 15 elements. Next, the product undergoes natural drying, and after that, it goes into a special chamber where it dries completely before reaching the finishing area. The finishing is done manually, and here each craftsman has their own set of tools, and these tools have hardly changed since those historical times. And each craftsman guards their set as the apple of their eye. Each blank is sanded and washed to ensure the final product is as smooth as possible. And here again, it's important to pay attention to the properties of the blanks that were obtained through this very low pressure casting. They, despite their thin forms, have very high strength and maintain their geometry. The washing of toilet blanks is done using ordinary water. For sinks, a mixture of water and heart oil is used to ensure the exceptional smoothness of the final product. Next, the blanks proceed to glazing. It should be noted here that the glaze and glazing are prepared independently. Most competitors purchase a ready-made mixture from manufacturers, while independent preparation. The glazing ensures a uniform tone regardless of the batch of products, whenever they are manufactured accordingly. If you order a colored sink, today it will have exactly the same shade as one that was produced several years ago. And, of course, complete control over this process allows Ceramica Galassia to be confident in the quality of their products at all stages of production. The application of glaze at Galassia is carried out in two ways. Manually, this primarily concerns colored products, and also with the help of robots. For white products and large items, it is also important to note the properties of the glaze used by Ceramica Galassia. They call them the singles. High glaze is a unique super smooth glaze that essentially acts as a dirt repellent coating. That is, thanks to this super smoothness, dirt does not linger on the surface and is easily washed away with a relatively small amount of water. If your facility has heightened hygiene requirements, Then upon request, Ceramica Galassia can apply a glaze called zero-backed. This is a special glaze that includes silver ions, and bacteria do not multiply on the surface. The company certainly cares not only about the quality of the products, but also about the quality of work. For the employees who work here, the work of a craftsman requires a certain level of concentration, and physical fatigue will not benefit this process. Therefore, when it comes to transporting products, everything is as simplified and automated as possible. And, in the hands of the craftsman, skilled mechanical assistants that allow them to move these blanks and products. After all, due to their increased density, they are significantly heavier than most other ceramic products. And the final, most magical stage is undoubtedly the firing. The firing takes place in a special tunnel kiln where the blanks are sent for 28 hours. At the beginning of this process, the temperature gradually increases, reaching a peak of 1260 degrees, after which the product gradually cools down. This helps to avoid the effect of crazing, meaning the product becomes strong, but not brittle. And another important distinction is that absolutely all products, both white and colored, undergo the same process, firing, at 1260 degrees. Many companies and competitors produce colored items using a secondary firing method, meaning the color is applied to the white product, and then fired again at 850 degrees, which undoubtedly makes them less reliable. After the products come out of the kiln and have completely cooled, they go to the quality control section. First of all, a visual quality inspection and a check of the product's geometry are carried out. Even the slightest deviations from the norm are noted by the skilled craftsman and sent for secondary processing. After this, in particular, toilet siphons are also pressure tested to ensure there are no issues at the client's site. And finally, all products are packed in boxes, labeled, and sent to the warehouse for storage and subsequent dispatch to their happy owners. Galassia ceramics are unique not only in their production, but also in the construction of their product range. It includes 4 main groups of products. These are bathroom equipment, kitchen equipment, as well as for laundry rooms and outdoor areas. And on the ground floor of the showroom, we enter the materials library, where all the products are organized according to these product groups. Here we can see the entire range of toilets and bidets, basins in various colors, and Galassia offers 12 different shades. Also, the area for kitchen sinks and laundry sinks, which can also be used outdoors. And this is a very current trend because we sometimes spend as much time on terraces as we do indoors. And this seamless interaction between interior and exterior is an absolute norm, and it's hard to call it a surprising trend. Galassia also has its own version of the so-called smart toilet, that is, a toilet with a bidet function. But there are also several differences from the models we are already familiar with in this market. Firstly, Galassia makes bidet toilets in color. You definitely won't find anything like this anywhere else. They can be made in glossy white, matte white, anthracite grey, and a very attractive beige shade. The second difference lies in the construction of the product itself. It essentially consists of 5 parts, that is, directly the ceramic bowl, a special insert where the electronic unit is installed, the seat, and the remote control. And you might ask, why is all this necessary? It is necessary so that in the event of an update and the release of a more functional model, you can easily replace the electronic part and obtain a more advanced modern toilet in the near future. It would be great if such a thing could be done with smartphones. Well, in terms of functionality, everything essential is present here. This includes a retractable stainless steel nozzle, which has various modes and different positions. You can use the children's shower, the ladies' shower, and adjust the pressure and temperature. There is also a hairdryer, which you can also adjust it in terms of air intensity and temperature. There is automatic lid opening, a navigation light, which you can also adjust according to your mood, and functions related to hygiene, such as tank rinsing, and special anti-lime scale treatment. The main functions can be operated from the panel located on the lid, and more advanced functions are available via the remote control. The design of Galassia products is developed by quite renowned Italian masters in the field of product design. In particular, the company's art director is currently Gabriello Ciascai, a rather talented architect and designer who has worked with many well-known companies here in Italy. She has developed the very latest innovations. This is the R70 collection, which represents a play of two basic geometric shapes: a perfectly rectangular shape with a perfectly circular shape inscribed, which forms the basin of the sink. This sink is installed on a very elegant console, which, in fact, can hardly be called a console. It's more like a column, onto which drawers are threaded, which open by rotating. This is an allusion to a stylist makeup artist's workspace, which will undoubtedly be very convenient for women, first and foremost. If this storage space suddenly proves insufficient, standard furniture hanging modules can be used. Naturally, both the sinks and these modules can be painted in color. It's your choice, and you can combine different colors to achieve the desired color combinations. The next collection from Gabriel is called C65. Here too, there is a play of simple geometric shapes. This time, a round bowl with an almost perfect oval inscribed. And a very charming, functional detail has been added, a small rim, which is cast directly from the ceramic, providing ease of maintenance. And of course, no droplets will run down the edges of this sink and disrupt the exceptional harmony of purity. Just like the SR70, this sink can be combined with a furniture module that mirrors the shape of the sink, and it can be painted in the color of the ceramic or have a wood finish. When creating the next collection, Gabriella was inspired by the aesthetics of a trough or farmhouse sink. But naturally, this farmhouse sink is made from high-quality ceramic, can have various color shades, and another important element is the organization of space. There is a special compartment here where you can place all your jars and bottles. And since this ceramic takes care of these surfaces, it is undoubtedly very convenient. There is also an additional acrylic shelf that is installed directly above the sink, and, accordingly, it can be moved in one direction or another. And, by the way, the color of the acrylic can also vary. And the evolution of the next collection is the next narrow, meaning the narrow next. It is, indeed, a narrower basin, which has, inside, there is also a surface for placing all necessary items. And in this case, of course, it is recommended to combine with a mixer tap and walls. It can also be combined with furniture modules. Both open and closed storage spaces with pull-out drawers are offered. It should be noted here that Galassia, like leading manufacturers, is also following the path of forming an assortment based on the principles of cross-collection compatibility. That is, items from one collection perfectly match with items from another. For example, Nero pairs excellently with a couple of bidet toilets, which belong to the Dream Collection. By the way, regarding the Dream Collection, it was conceived by the quite well-known designer Antonio Pascalis, who also had a remarkable collaboration story. And, incidentally, it was Antonio Pascalis who created, perhaps, one of the most diverse, multifunctional collections called Core, which can truly become the foundation of bathroom architecture. Because the basins are perfectly cylindrical, these cylinders vary slightly in diameter. They can be shorter or taller cylinders. This is, by the way, that very unique basin which is quite difficult to produce due to its ultra-thin 5mm walls, yet the bowl itself is very deep. Corsorop. 5. Have a platform, primarily for installing a mixer tap, but you can also use these basins without a hole. Then, in such a suspended version, despite the architectural form, you do not deprive yourself of the possibility of having space. Well, if necessary, these basins can be complemented either with a simple rolling drawer on wheels, or laundry baskets made of perforated steel, or round cabinets with a hinged door and also a sufficient number of shelves for storing all necessary items. It looks very convincing, architectural. Well, if you want it to look even more graphic, you can use a very unusual console. Essentially, it is inverted, and there is a certain playfulness in this as well, because this perfect cylinder is practically inscribed a perfect square. Well, and you can use the edges as a towel holder. The author of the collection idea is Lola, the general manager of Ceramica Galassia, Gianluca Mai. After all, people who are deeply immersed in the ceramic industry have something to say, and they have their own vision of what sanitary ware can be. I really like smooth lines, luxurious shapes, very deep sinks, a very solid toilet and bidet. Sometimes people are looking for exactly these, and, of course, the possibilities for combination. For example, this countertop wash basin is installed on a ceramic countertop from the Tableau collection. Tableau means a small board, and sometimes it is even translated as a tablet. And with the help of these practical universal boards, which provide both hygiene and ease of use, but also offer various color shades, Galassia writes its commandments for creating the perfect bathroom. And yet another highly functional version. Next, sinks. Here we have both a large basin and a shelf inside the basin, which can be used to store artisanal soap. There is a wonderful container that can be removed and, again, rinsed if necessary. Well, for storing towels and other items, you can again use hanging cabinets. And here we again see a cool combination of the next collection with the creation of the same Antonio Parcalli. This time, it's the BD toilet from the Mach 11 collection. The bowls of all toilets in Ceramica Galassia have a rimless design called rim away, and the seat, naturally, has a soft close feature. Mach 11 is also a very architectural collection. Here, the items have the most simple, I would say, even architectonic forms, which allow for solving the tasks of creating a harmonious bathroom interior in an architectural manner. The basins are ceramic blocks of varying widths and depths. These can be single basins, double basins, or super deep basins, which can also be used in laundry rooms. For added convenience, a wooden washboard is offered. Galassia's range also includes ceramic trays of various sizes and colors. The coating is non-slip, and they are strong enough for people with disabilities to enter the shower area in a wheelchair. And before we move on to a more detailed discussion of laundry sinks and kitchen sinks, it's also worth mentioning another collection that I find quite charming. It's called Smart Bee. Its creator is a novel about the valley, and these sinks, in my opinion, are suitable for more compact bathrooms because they are more refined, more elegant due to their shape, perhaps even more feminine, yet it also has a fairly large range and various configurations to solve any functional task. For laundry and utility rooms, Ceramica Galassia offers an absolutely crazy range. I haven't seen anything like it from anyone else, from the manufacturers of Sanfianza. Usually, as a rule, it's one, at most, two models. Here, there are literally a dozen. These can vary in depth, shape, and come with various additional accessories, like boards. They can be of different widths, including super impressive sizes. They can be installed on countertops, cabinets, and also hung if necessary. In general, you can solve absolutely any spatial challenge within these very important rooms which, by the way, sometimes receive undeservedly little attention. Well, of course, these products are highly reliable because we understand that sometimes a bucket might be placed in a utility sink. So, this utility sink definitely won't fall apart from a bucket, just as kitchen sinks won't either. And it's important to note here that they are manufactured in a slightly different way. A slightly different mixture and a slightly different manufacturing process are used here, which again ensures their extraordinary, one might say, strength. If you drop a knife, a frying pan, or a pot of soup in there, absolutely nothing will happen. And, of course, the glaze will not suffer from constant contact with metal objects. It won't get scratched or worn off. And, thanks to these same qualities, these sinks can also be used outdoors. If you consider yourself a fan of traditional aesthetics, then you should pay attention to what is available this year. Attention to the only, but very well-crafted classic collection. This is the one created for Galassia by the same Antonio Pascal. Friends, as you will see, Galassia offers a huge number of solution options for any situation, for some special aesthetic and functional requirements that bathroom designers have for technical rooms and kitchens, and very solid sinks, and also some solutions for terraces, that is, outdoor areas. As for bathrooms, Galassia strives to offer the most comprehensive solutions. And in addition to the mentioned collections of sanitary ceramics, they also present baths that match the design of a particular series. I am almost certain that you will find something suitable for yourself. As for the quality, you can be assured, thanks to the industrial approach, the combination of industrial and artisanal technologies, and the integration of a full production cycle, Galassia offers exceptionally reliable products that will last a very long time. And I think this is worth paying attention to. And, of course, share with friends. If you liked it, give it a like. Write something nice. And see you in the next video. Bye.